Hello everybody, it's Dr. Lindeman here again. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about shoulder complaints. I've had a lot of patients lately that have come in with shoulder pain or at least issues relating to the shoulder. So to get right to it, when we look at the shoulder, we're basically looking at heterohumerus, kind of looks like a ball right here. You got clavicle that runs over top of it, and you got scapula that kind of comes behind and on top like this. So the shoulder joint being such a mobile joint than it is, it has decreased stability. Anytime you have increased mobility, you decrease stability, which causes more of a risk for injury. So what can happen because of the increased rotation and mobility of the joint, it can kind of drop down and forward, it can pull on the muscles, it can pull on the nerves that run down the arm, thoracic outlet syndrome, which I'll talk about on a different date, but it can cause tingling in the hand, pain in the elbow, numbness in the arm, weakness, all sorts of things, okay? But we're going to focus on the actual complaints in the shoulder. So what can happen is if the shoulder drops down like this, the rotator cuff, which sits on top of the shoulder like this, these four muscles, can get twisted, pulled, can be stretched. The supraspinatus, which is this top bone that runs on top of the shoulder like this, has clavicle that runs over top of it. It can swell up and get pinched when the shoulder is being raised up like this. It's called impingement syndrome. What this generally feels like is a sharp stabbing pain, very random. You go to reach for something and it hits you for a second, you're like, oh, I'm okay, you know, you reach behind you and oh, it hurts really bad, but then it goes away pretty quick. What that is though is that muscle, basically if it's swelling up, it'll pinch between the shoulder and the clavicle on top of it, okay? A bunch of reasons for this. One, we're built that all the muscles in the front, like pec major, pec minor, biceps, and then deltoids help bring the shoulder forward like this. They're big, strong muscles. The muscles that bring it back on the rotation this way are pretty small, teres minor and teres major, which are two muscles that get neglected a lot by a lot of people, and I think it would be a good thing to strengthen unless you'll end up having shoulder issues, I guess. So it's a good way to stop that from happening. So to get right to it, one of the best exercises for teres minor is stand with your elbow against your ribs like this. Okay, you can hold a soup can, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, something very light. Okay, and you're going to take your arm and bring it out about 20 to 30 degrees, an external rotation like this, maybe 45 at most, but you don't want your arm to come away from your body. If you look at it this way again, you just come out that far. Okay, doesn't seem like you're doing much, but you will if you do a set of 10 of these, especially if you have 2 pounds or something or a soup can in your hand. It will start to fatigue back here, which is a good thing. You're working on that muscle, which will help pull the shoulder up and back rather than down and forward, which is a very common issue with most people, I guess I would say. One thing, if that starts coming forward too long, can stretch on the rotator cuff. It can cause impingement like we talked about. It can cause tingling and numbness down the arm, all of which is very treatable, especially if caught early. Sometimes carpal tunnel pain actually isn't carpal tunnel, or it could be compression in the carpal tunnel here, but it can also be compression in the thoracic outlet here. I'll go more into thoracic outlet syndrome on a different talk, but shoulder issues are very common, especially in athletes, but you don't have to be an athlete to have shoulder pain. Just typing like this, you're rotating the arm forward like this. Driving your car, especially with your arm up like this, the shoulder comes forward. So try and work on getting that shoulder back with the exercises, and if you need any other help, you know, go look up Lindeman Chiropractic, a chiropractor in your area, physical therapist, somebody, but get some help before it gets too bad. If you have any questions, you can call me at the office, even if you're not in my area. I'd love to give you some info. So thank you, have a great day, and thanks for watching.